Aquarius, I am over here giving you your second proofread for the month of September, and to be honest with you, I am kind of happy. I'm almost excited. Well, I'm not almost excited, but I am happy and I am excited that I am almost done. Just because, I don't know, that's not even the right whistle tone. Anyway, the Ace of Cups fell out for everyone. What a surprise, as the aces are. Ooh. So this could be a pleasant surprise for you, Aquarius. Okay, what are we liking here? What are we liking about this new beginning that we're going through? Right? Yeah. So something feels perfect. Okay, something feels perfect. And it feels right. Some of y'all might be thinking of school. Some of you are newly single and you're like, yes, this feels right. I feel right now that I'm single. There's plenty of fish in the sea. I have my, I have everything working for me. Let's look at what your other card is. Two of Cups, right? From the Ace to the 2, that's a 3. That's like feeling like you're in the right environment. You're vibing. The Two of Cups is emotional balance. It is also, the beauty of balance and being able to balance the extremes, because all of the 2s are connected to the Judgment card and the High Priestess. And it also is connected to the Justice card. See for yourself and determine whether or not you like it or not. This also has to do with a level of maybe sexual intoxication. It could have to do with the fetishization of something. It could have to do with being, maybe hooked on someone or not wanting to let them go because of what they brought to you or they had that you valued emotionally or sexually, because we place value in sex, so we place value in someone's sexuality. And I'm not talking about like their sexual preference, but their sexual energy or their emotional energy. The beauty of what they bring to us that brings balance into our lives. We place value there. So this could have been what kept you or what was holding you. And for some of you, it could be the exact opposite. It could be a flip, reverse it, right? It could be that you were single and now that you're dating somebody. We got the 2 extremes going on here, especially with the 2s. Sorry. Still recovering from this thing that I had. Let's look at what your clarifying card is. 7 of Swords. So yeah, some of you have definitely broken up, distanced yourself, cut some people off, maybe blocked some people, maybe got fed up with something. Maybe somebody cheated perhaps, because you thought this was kind of like a one-on-one thing here, but then on the side, right above the water, where you can see here, because this does talk about a barrier, okay, and it does talk about secrets, and it does talk about going from one reality into the other. So 2 different realities here, 2 different relationships, or 2 different emotional realities here. or somebody not being able to choose whether or not they wanted to be single or date other people or be in a relationship. You know what I mean? So the Seven of Swords is like, okay, I got tired. I got kind of emotionally fed up with it being open-ended or just not having all of the answers that I wanted or that I needed. You know, I'm tired of trying to figure it out here. Being kind of like emotionally confused with someone too, because they say one thing and they do another, and then it almost seems like they're trying to be, you know, in control psychologically here. They're playing like this psychological game of chess or psychological control, something like that is going on. This 7 is here, and it is also connected to like Neptune and the 7th ray. You know, the 7s are all connected to Neptune in the 7th ray. That's why in that, I'm not going to continue to explain, but I'm telling you that part. Okay, so it's the confusion. Someone is trying to keep you in the dark about something, or, you know, doesn't want you to see the clarity of the situation here, because then you would use that clarity that you had to kind of like exercise a power that they are, you know, trying to, manipulate, right? Take you out of the power that you would have if you knew everything, or if you had more information here. But this is kind of like you're not really caring and not really giving a fuck, right? So you're like cutting it off and you're creating the distance, and you almost have this energy of like moon in Scorpio energy, where you're like, you know what? I feel emotionally insecure when something is taking me out of my power, so I'm going to have to exercise my power of detachment here. And this is your card, the 7 of Swords. It's moon in Aquarius. You know, so you find security in honesty, and you find security in, mature communication, and this person is not any of those things, or you aren't, and they're fed up with you. One or the other, you know. We got a lot of people listening here. So yeah, this 7 of Swords does talk about endings, but it's an ending that was cut off. It might even be like an early ending. But let this be a lesson learned. This is definitely a lesson learned for you, Aquarius, and for the other person. You know what I mean? This is a karmic relationship that was meant to teach you something about the way that you have been perceiving things. Maybe you were lying to yourself. Maybe you were denying something. Maybe you were in denial, or you were delusional. Maybe both of you were. I don't know. And it's great when you can realize that, when you're like, man, I was so delusional, right? It's great. You're like, wow, I took my power back. So it's also taking your power back. That's what you're doing. Both of you can be doing that by detaching and separating from each other. It could, you know what I mean? Whoa, we're both taking our power back because we're not like attached to each other, or trying to control each other's outcome, or trying to influence anything, or we're not feeling like we are being influenced by the, the emotional badges that we are, trying to pin on each other. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. Ain't nobody got time for that. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm not trying to be the thing for you that makes sense of why you are hurting. And you don't need to be that thing that makes sense for me that why I'm hurting. But we are a reflection of each other, and not saying that like I am showing you exactly who you are and you are showing me exactly who I am, but the way that we are reacting and responding to each other has something to do with our perception of who we are in relationships, and we could be misleading ourselves, or we could be in denial, or we could just be, you know, not perceiving things clearly. So we are on a we're in a false pretenses, you know, things like that. The relationship, it's not like communicatively or emotionally authentic. And it's taking too much mental persuasion and too much finagling. It's kind of clumsy, that type of thing. So we're done with it, right? Chop. Right? If you ain't got 10s across the board, it's a chop. Bye, Aquarius.